Hi, I'm Renarta Clanton Moyd. I'm a communications specialist with the Cumberland County Schools and your host of Get Connected. During this monthly show, we highlight numerous educational topics that face today's student, educator, and parent in the Cumberland County Schools. Now, our schools work daily to educate the whole child. Part of this effort extends outside the classroom and into the community in the form of service to others. About a year ago, the school system partnered with the United Way of Cumberland County to create the Live United Student Volunteer Program. It affords students the opportunity to serve and give back. Now, after this break, we'll talk about the program and its success during this edition of Get Connected.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. And together as one we'll start to see some change.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people, connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book can be the first element, helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Again, thanks for joining us for this edition of Get Connected, where we're talking with Cumberland County School Military Liaison Anna Rodriguez and Westover High School Counselor Brittany Raines. Anna, Brittany, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so glad. Curb the enthusiasm. No, I'm joking. I'm so glad you guys are here with me to talk about this wonderful program. It is just a wonderful program. So let's jump in, okay? Exactly what is Live United?
The Live United it's a volunteer program for high school students, grades 9 through 12, where they can volunteer anywhere they choose to in Cumberland County, and they receive credit for the volunteer hours that apply toward a service corps that they can get at graduation.
That's good. And I understand at your school there at Westover, Brittany, you all have a lot of participation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we have a large group that they want to volunteer and they want to go out and help people, so we're very excited about that.
That's good. Now, you know, most people tend to think that, you know, with our young people in this day and time, their minds are more on themselves, maybe more on, you know, connecting socially on the internet and all of these other things. You just kind of don't realize that they are really active people in terms of service.
They are. They want to give back to their communities. They want to learn about their communities and explore their interests and meet their college requirements for their applications. So, I mean, I think that there are students that are deep into electronics and social media, but most of them want to be out there, and it's a good chance to have face-to-face contact with other people.
Right.
And I know with you, Brittany, you're with the students daily.
Yes, ma'am.
And you see some of the things that they're doing and those types of things. What has been their response about the program?
They love it. They come to me every day, Miss Raines, I need another number, a place I can call that I can volunteer, or, you know, I need another form to fill out. Miss Raines, is there another form, or can they fill out their form? They're very excited about just getting it done. They like helping. They want to make sure they're doing it right, that they're allowed to do it. I think once they are presented with the opportunity to do something, they're all for it. I think we just have to present it to them. On the surface, we do think that it appears that they are all into electronics. They don't really care about much outside of themselves, but deep down, they come and talk to you. They're all about helping other people. I see it every day.
And you all, I know, Anna, prior to becoming the military liaison, you were a school counselor as well.
That's right.
So you all both get the opportunity to really, at least at one point you did, to interact with students and really see what they're made of. What type of young people do we have out there today?
Well, I can give you an example from when I was at the middle school level. We had a couple of young ladies that took it inside of, I was at Max Abbott Middle School, and inside of the middle school we have this this bridge area, and around it were some dirt planting areas. And these two young ladies took it upon themselves to organize and beautify that whole area. I mean, they had plants in there, they had a whole bunch of students join them. They were actually nominated for Amazing Acts of Character for that.
That's great. That is great. That is great. Now, this program was birthed out of what particular idea? Came forward from what idea?
Well, the idea came from Dr. Teal and Natasha
Our
Scott.
superintendent.
Yes, and Natasha Scott, the Director of Student Services.
Okay.
Basically, we have students that are out there volunteering already.
Right.
We have our Key Club, our Student Government Association, and then we have our specialty high schools that require volunteer hours from their students. So they wanted to expand the idea where all students would be encouraged to volunteer because it benefits all students, and a lot of them already were. So we wanted to make sure that they received some type of recognition for being out there and helping their community.
Right, and just to piggyback on what she's saying, I
Yes,
think
please.
it helps our students who may not necessarily be in the forefront, or those students that are in the Student Government Association or National Honor Society or the other clubs. It gives them a chance to earn, something to say that I did something while I was in high school, and it also helped my community. So I think it's an awesome program.
Can you, off the top of your head, and I know I'm putting you both on the spot here, think of a time when this particular program really helped take a student to another level as far as, or feel better about themselves, or had an impact, a positive impact?
Well, I can speak for, I know that there was one student, and I can't remember which school that child was at, and I can't remember if it was male or female, but I know that there was one student last year who earned a cord for volunteer hours and told his advisor or her advisor that that was the only cord that they were going to get, and that's how much it meant to them to have that red, white, and blue around their neck.
And the cord is red, white, and blue, and it actually looks like a rope.
Yes, it's a braided red, white, and blue cord.
That's good. That is so good. Now, what has the response been? Have you all heard from parents about involvement?
The parents at my school, they are loving the fact that their students are being recognized for their service. They're loving the fact that their students are actually wanting to do something, because like the question former, they just want to be on the computers at home, or they only see them talking to their friends. But through this program, they're able to see a different side of their children, actually getting out there in the community and in an organized fashion.
Right.
And that's something that they really do appreciate.
That's good. And what are you all hearing from some of the organizations that are, using the services of these young people?
Oh, they are just thrilled with them. And an example is that Howard Hall Elementary School had a fall festival. And I actually found out about it accidentally, and I put it out to the Pine Forest High School students that were right across the street, and they had 35 kids go over there and help them, and they were just so happy that they had that extra help because they were really in need of volunteers.
That's good. Now, explain to us the process. How, first of all, does a student become a part of the program? I mean, as a parent, do you call in and say, I think my child should be a part of this program, or faculty members refer the child, or how do things work with this?
Every single student that is enrolled in Cumberland County High Schools is part of the program. All they have to do is sign up onto the Edmodo group.
Edmodo is?
Edmodo is the social networking system that we have for the county. It's a very secure network where they have to have a specific group code to sign up for whatever, either a class or a club or the volunteer group.
Okay.
And once they get the code, they join the group. We have to verify that they are in fact a student, and then we accept them into the group, and then they just start logging their hours. And they have to turn in a verification form to their advisor once they've done their volunteer hours. Basically, any paid employee from the organization that they volunteer at can sign it, and then they bring it back and give it to their advisor, and their advisor grades it and they have their hours.
Now, are there any requirements for acceptance?
No.
At all?
They have to be a student.
Just a student
They have to be
that's
actively
willing to
enrolled.
to get out and
Right.
serve.
That's right.
Now, you know, that's wonderful.
It is.
That is wonderful. And that's the thing about it, serving others, it just puts something there in your heart where you just, it's a sense of fulfillment.
Right.
It's a
Well,
good feeling.
Let me just add too that individual agencies do have their own requirements.
Okay.
For example, Habitat for Humanity, there is an age requirement for Habitat because the kids can't use power tools if they're underage, under a certain age. So, I mean, individual agencies may have some type of requirement, but for the program itself, there is none.
Right.
Okay, okay. And the program, didn't you all work with United Way? Don't you work with you? Tell us about that partnership. How does that work?
It started off by, we were in a meeting for the Community Blueprint Network, which is a local nonprofit that, well, we're actually not a nonprofit. We're a local agency where a bunch of different agencies in the community get together and discuss ways of working in the community. And I met Ruthie Dent, who was
At that
she's not
time.
there anymore. I met her and we just started talking about it, and she was very excited about working together and developing this program. They have 22 agencies that fall under the United Way umbrella. And it just kind of was a partnership that grew from there. And that's why we have the Live United title in our name, was because we have such great support from United Way. Now, the agencies where the kids volunteer, it's not restricted to United Way.
Okay.
But they are a big supporter of what we do.
What are some of the names of the organizations and agencies where students are serving?
Some of my students, they work with the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, Habitat for Humanity, the Parks and Recreation. It's quite a few. Some I'd never heard of before. But
Second Harvest Food.
yeah, Second Harvest Food Bank.
Fayetteville Urban Ministry, Animal Protection Society.
Cooperative Extension.
I mean, it just goes on. And churches. I mean, Operation Inasmuch is a big volunteer. We just had. I actually just saw it in the paper where the computer kids are revamping. They can volunteer at their own schools. And in fact, if transportation is ever an issue, there's plenty of opportunities to volunteer at their own schools where they don't have to worry about getting to and from the agency.
Right.
They just have to have a teacher or a mentor or a coach or whoever sign their paperwork.
Yes.
And grade point average is not a factor?
Not a factor at all.
So you really have no excuse?
No.
No excuse, none whatsoever.
No, and there's so many benefits to volunteering. I mean, the career exploration aspect of it, the learning about resources in the community and sharing those with others, the application process for college, they require volunteer work. And this way, if they're doing it throughout their college or high school career, they're not scrambling at the end. Oh, I need 20 hours of community service to apply for college. And so it's just a really good way to balance it out and have them involve their whole career.
That's good.
Yeah, I had one student, she said, I want to get all my hours done in my freshman year. I said, okay, you can do it. And she had a whole plan of, okay, this week I'm going to do 20 hours. The next week I'm trying to do 50 if I can. I was like, okay, you don't have to do it all at once.
Right, yeah,
Just space it out a little bit. But she was very excited about doing it, and she had a plan. I said, good for you.
That's good.
I was very excited. It touched my heart.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. Well, you know what, ladies, we're going to take a quick break, okay? All right. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned for more Get Connected.
What if a disaster strikes without warning? What if life as you know it has completely turned on its head? What if everything familiar becomes anything but? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed today. Learn how at ready.gov.
Explore new worlds. Read. Visit literacy.gov and let the journey begin.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles. Everybody bring it in. I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. The magical thing about using energy wisely is that anyone can do it. Use energy-saving light bulbs, energy-smart power strips, and turn off computers and game systems when not in use. Get together and make a difference. Learn what you can do at energy.gov/tink.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Get Connected. Our guests are Cumberland County School Military Liaison Anna Rodriguez and Westover High School Counselor Brittany Raines. Now we're discussing the success of the Live United Student Volunteer Program. Now, you know what, before we went to the break, Brittany, we were talking about how, you know, you have one student that, you know, was just really gung-ho about getting all her hours in her freshman year and those types of things. But how do hours fall? What is the requirement as far as hours are concerned?
The hour requirements are by grade level right now.
Okay.
Because we started the program mid-year last year, we didn't want to tell everybody, all of the students, that they were required to have 200 hours, because seniors never would have been able to do that. So basically we broke it down to 25 hours per semester.
Okay.
So for seniors this year, they're required to have 50 hours. For juniors, 100, 150, and 200 for freshmen. And then every rising 9th grade class will be required to have 200, because they'll have 4 full years to get all their hours.
That completed. Yeah, that's good. Are you finding that your students are pretty much staying on point with their hours?
They are.
They are. I have already awarded cords. I mean, we already have kids that have earned cords in their senior year, and it's not even the end of first semester.
Get out of here. Yeah, wow, that is incredible. Now, I know that students being involved in this program is such a reward for them. But how is this program rewarding our community? How is this program impacting our community?
Volunteers are invaluable to the community for so many reasons, but especially in the economy that we're in, when everybody has downsized and you know, people are doing more with less. Having the volunteers to come in schools, in businesses, in churches is so valuable to just help the organizations get things done that would be taking man hours away from their paid employees. Also, it's showing them and giving them a really good perspective of what our future looks like for our workforce.
That's good.
Right. Some of our students, like our top of the line students, they are out there. They're volunteering and job shadowing that prospective employer. So like Ms. Anna said, that gives our employers a chance to see, okay, this is what they're doing in school, this is what they're learning. They know that when they come to their jobs that they have the skills necessary to be competitive and to actually do the job.
It's helping us create well-rounded students and giving the community as well as the students exposure to the future.
That's good. Now, if an organization or someone that's a manager of an organization, an owner, or not even an executive director of an organization is listening to us at this moment and might be interested in maybe having some of the students come over and volunteer at their respective agencies, what should they do?
They can contact a local high school, or they can contact me, and I'll put it out to all of the high schools, just making contact with the school system about what they're looking for, and we'll put it out there for the kids.
Okay. Now, what about if you have a student, going back kind of to our discussion about hours, what if you have a student that comes in mid-year? How do he or she pick those hours up?
Those hours will be amended for that student.
Right.
Okay, okay.
And in fact, with the Edmodo program, with the social network program we have, if we have a student that moves from another high school into Westover and they've already been volunteering at that high school, their hours will continue on. They won't lose those hours unless they take themselves out of the system for some reason. If they remove themselves from the group, their hours will be gone. But as long as they stay within that group and then they join the Westover group, for example, then those hours will continue and they won't lose them.
Right, because the Edmodo code, their profile follows them.
So would you say, and even from out of state? No?
No.
Okay. So
No, they'll
it's a
just
little
start when they get here.
Start anew. Okay. Now let me ask you this: would you say that them logging into Edmodo and those types of things is a way of monitoring the program, or are there other safeties there, or monitoring the program, making sure the students are doing what they're supposed to do, or what have you?
Well, we had to also, in addition to having them get on Edmodo, we also had to have them turn in verification forms.
Right.
Now, what is a verification form?
Basically, it's just a form that is signed by the organization where they're volunteering and their parent to say, yes, this person volunteered at this organization for X number of hours. We want to make sure that, unfortunately, we do have some people out there that aren't up and up.
Yes, right.
And we want to make sure that we have accurate information in the system so that we're not honoring the students with cords that they didn't deserve. We have not had that problem. We actually have had students try to enroll before they're ready, before they're able to. Like I had a 6th grader try to join Reed Ross. Yeah, she attends Reed Ross, but she's not in high school yet.
Why? I'm just curious. What was the reason behind her wanting to join so
I don't know.
quickly?
I just looked her up and I was like, she goes to the middle school.
She's not supposed to be in this. Not quite.
No.
Right, but for my school, because the middle school is right next door, when we go over to present, different courses that we offer, we also talk about the volunteer program and the opportunities that they will have. And so we do have a lot of younger students saying, hey, can I go ahead and start my hours? Like even the summer before I come to 9th grade, and I'm saying, you can always volunteer, but your hours don't necessarily count until you start the 9th grade.
Yeah, July 1 they start counting. In the
July 1
summertime.
before 9th grade.
Yes, they can start volunteering July 1. When they're done with 8th grade and they've moved over into the new system, they can join. Now it'll be a little bit difficult because they're in summer break and they have to get the code and everything, but they can keep track of their hours on their own and get those verification forms. The verification forms are on the Cumberland County Schools website, as well as the Edmodo site. So they can get those forms and get them filled out, and then when they can join, when they're in school and can join the group, then they can log in their hours.
It just blows my mind to sit here and listen to the fact that we have young people out there that are like chomping at the bit to get out there and volunteer, meaning you're not getting paid.
Right.
I'm just like, seriously?
They're not getting paid. They're not getting any kind of credit or anything like that. It doesn't go toward their graduation. It's volunteering straight up. And that's, we love to see it. We really do. And we're so proud of the kids. We had, last year, we had 10% of our seniors earn service cords.
That's great.
In our first 6 months.
Wow.
10%.
Wow.
And that's just the ones that joined. We had so many that the program hadn't really gotten started yet at their school. So think of all the students we have this year. I got to write a grant.
Wow. Now, is the student limited to the number of places he or she can volunteer?
No.
Or how about simultaneously, 2 organizations at a time? If they can juggle
As
it?
long as they can manage, they're free to volunteer wherever, whenever.
Right. In the summer, and our biggest push is in the summer times, teacher work days, Christmas break, spring break, those kind of times when the students are in between their coursework. That's when we really are pushing them to get out there and do the volunteer work so that they can have something to do to occupy their time during those breaks. And it also really gets them just out of the house and out of mom and dad's hair.
Exactly. And as Brittany was saying, it exposes them to career opportunities.
Absolutely.
And even the opportunity to kind of sit and look and say, oh, I might want to do that, or I might want to do this. That's good.
Or the opposite too. They may be thinking, I want to do this, and then find out, no, it's not for me.
Yeah. Brittany,
for
what were you
me,
going to say?
when I was in high school, I was required to have 250 hours, and my senior year, I didn't know what I wanted to go to college for, but because I had to volunteer, I worked at a therapeutic recreation center with autistic children, and they took a field trip to the WB station in Charlotte, and when I walked in, I said, this is where I want to be. So when I went to college, I studied communications, broadcasting in particular. And it was all because I was volunteering, just, you know, trying to help and get my hours done because they were required. And who would have thought that by doing that, something totally unrelated to what I thought I wanted to do, which was hair. I wanted to be a beautician. I thought that it would change my whole career path, and here I am today.
All right. One of our best school counselors.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, are you all seeing that other programs, I understand that the program there at Westover is doing really great, and there's some other programs across the county that, are they doing as well?
Jack Britt had the most students earn service cords last year. They had 84 students earn a cord last year. E.E. Smith has a very strong program. Cumberland International. Now, Cumberland International has a requirement aside of what we do, but they have a really good following on the Edmodo group. Gosh, Pine Forest, actually, they had all those kids go out to Howard Hall. Yeah, yes. So,
yes.
Short answer, yes. I could
good.
go down all 17 high schools and tell you what a great job they're doing, and it's been really wonderful to watch it grow.
That's good. Where do you all see this program 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I see it just being something, I'm losing my voice, something that the schools, you know, it's a part of the school. This is like, we can claim it, Westover, we are volunteers. We're all about community service, something that the schools just own. Just it being a part of the life of the school, because that's something that you see the heart that the students have for it. And when you see the passion that the students have for it, it transforms the environment of the school. And so from 5 years from now, I just see it even bigger and better than what it is now, and it's already great.
Right.
So I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
that's good.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, that's
I love to hear that too. And you know, one of the things that we really want to do as well with the program is help students build a connection with the community and the school, because students that have a connection to their school are more likely to stay in school.
Right.
And so, you know, if we any kind of effort to help with that is what we're looking for.
All right. That's a good. We're going to end it on that note. Okay. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for service. We're looking for our young people to get involved. Anna, Brittany, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right. Well, on behalf of the Cumberland County School System, we want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of our show and for giving us a chance to help you get connected. Until next time.